In this travel special, we're going to Transylvania, my favourite place, just for a quick bit. Welcome to Grey Matters.
Welcome to Grey Matters, the channel that promotes the fact that the older generation still matters and looks at issues that matter to the older generation. Now, in this travel special, we're in Romania, a country that shares its borders with Bulgaria, Hungary, Moldova, Serbia and the Black Sea. It's had a turbulent past and its reputation has suffered in the past few decades with talks of Romanian organised crime gangs in the UK, but it's a very safe country to visit. And there are some beautiful and stunning places to see, and the resorts on the Black Sea are just amazing. Whatever its past has been, this is a country that you really should go. There is plenty to see. We stayed in the capital, Bucharest, which is very grey. The vibe there I found to be a little oppressive, as if they haven't completely shaken off the dark days under Nicolae Ceausescu. But one bright and colourful location was our hotel, a small boutique establishment called Hotel Christina, where the emphasis was on lighting. Everything, including the walls, floors, furniture and even the shower heads, was imaginatively lit. The reception, general seating area with its high-tech massage chair and the dining room all basically occupied the same space. The restaurant menus were all on iPads and your choices were transmitted down to the kitchens. All in all, it was a budget hotel with grand high-tech ideas, and in most cases it pulled it off. The most ostentatious and amazing building in Bucharest is Ceausescu's Palace, officially the Palace of the Parliament. It's a monster, as huge as the man's inflated ego. There are 10 stories above ground and another 10 below. Just walking around one floor and you'll cover around a kilometre. The dictator demolished much of the old city to build the palace, and what was left and in view he clad in the same rich marble and stone, so he didn't have to look out at common people's homes. He acquired 3,500 tonnes of crystal for nearly 3,000 chandeliers, used 100 kilograms of gold for embellishments. Some of the carpets are so huge, massive looms had to be brought in so they could be woven in situ. Ceausescu was a highly toxic megalomaniac. One of his decrees was that anybody who died had to leave all their possessions, their entire estates, to the crown, and in that way he amassed a fortune in possessions and property. Even now, successive governments have been trying to get warehouses full of possessions back to the rightful beneficiaries. Now, Ceausescu never got to see his palace finished. There was a violent uprising in December 1989 and he was overthrown. Now, he escaped by hitching a ride on an army helicopter, but it flew him to a remote airfield where his own generals conducted a kangaroo court and tried him and his wife for a variety of offences, including genocide. It is said that he and his wife were tried, convicted and executed within an hour of landing. Now, this incredible backstory might not be selling the idea of visiting this country to you, but stick with me. The palace is extraordinary and it's definitely a must-see destination, but the country has so much more to offer. Castle Peles is another must-see. Actually, it's not really a castle, it's another palace, and it's set in glorious countryside in the Carpathian Mountains. It's a neo-Renaissance marvel, that is not that old. It was built between the late 1800s and early 1900s, and it's stunning. There are over 170 rooms, many with dedicated themes from different world cultures such as Florentine, Turkish, French and Imperial. There are libraries, armories and art galleries, all lavishly furnished and decorated. There are 30 bathrooms. There are collections of statues, paintings, furniture, armour and so much more. It's around 70 miles from Bucharest. So if you're based in the city, make the most of the trip and plan some other visits while you're out that way. One of those visits should be to Transylvania. Just the name sends shivers down the spines of the baby boom generation, most of whom were brought up on a diet of Hammer horror films and tales of Dracula. It's not a country in its own right, but a region of central Romania, about 116 miles from Bucharest. First stop was for some lunch. Stew in a loaf of bread. Yes, really. And it was delicious. Then it was on to Castle Bran, known throughout the world as Dracula's castle. It dates from around the 1200s. Vlad the Impaler had connections with Bran, but his own castle was in Wallachia, not Transylvania. Its association with Dracula comes from Bram Stoker's description of Dracula's castle, which is very similar to Bran, and being the only castle in the country, it quickly became known as that particular vampire's fortress.
Jesus Christ!
As you can see, it's actually very pretty, probably the prettiest castle you'll ever visit. Whilst you're there, it's only a few more miles to Brasov, the administrative centre of Transylvania. It's a great mix of old world charm and busy city life. It's also home to the Strada Sefori, the narrowest street in Europe. Now this was a short trip for us. There was plenty that we didn't get to see. So if you're thinking of going, I can highly recommend a website called romaniatourism.com. Now it's got lots of information there about the country and about their main attractions. Things such as the Black Sea resorts, castles, fortresses, medieval towns, things like that. And they also have a section there on special activities, things like active holidays, festivals and events, monasteries, arts and crafts. So check that site out, it's well worth it. Flight time from the UK is around 3 hours, and the latest update from travelsafe.com says that Romania is a very safe place to visit. They say you're at more risk from other countries and bigger, more prominent capitals around Europe than you are from visiting anywhere in Romania. Everything from pickpocketing to hiring taxis is all rated as low risk. But of course we recommend that you take the sort of precautions you would take when visiting any unfamiliar country or city, and just, keep an eye on your purses and valuables, and do keep on the watch out. Because the risk is low doesn't mean to say it won't necessarily happen, but it does appear to be a very safe country to visit, and we certainly had no problems at all. So that's it for now. Thank you for joining us. If you've been to Romania, if you want to go to Romania, if you want to know anything else, then please leave some comments below. We'd appreciate it if you share the video and give it a thumbs up, because it does help the channel to grow. YouTube do likes and shares and comments, and it all helps for these videos to be put out in front of other people. Next time we're going to Canada. And we've also hopefully got a pension financial special coming up, so more about that in due course. But until then, until we see you in the next video, take care, bye for now. In this travel special, we're in Romania, a country that's bordered We're in Romania, a country that shares its borders with Bulgaria. In this travel special, we're in Romania, a country that shares its borders with Bulgaria, Hungary, Moldova, Serbia. I licked my lips. In this travel special, we're in Romania, a country that shares its borders with I keep wanting to say Bolivia. In this travel special, we're in Romania, a country that shares its borders with Bolivia. No.